These are the required points to express in your ad. Feel free to paraphrase and speak from your own experience. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So, it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And please make sure, this point, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do you know the spelling of anchor.fm? ANCHOR.FM. Thank you for your listening. See you. Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version, and this time I'd like to talk about, watching. And first of all, this episode, the target listeners of this episode is people having, women, which means ladies and girls having huge breasts or huge tights. I will tell you again. This time, I'd like to talk to people or women having huge breasts or tights. But if you aren't in that scope, or if you are not such people, please also listen to this episode. I think you can. I think everybody can enjoy this episode. If you are not busty women, or if you are man or man, I think I'd like you to listen to this episode because I think you can enjoy this episode. And this time I'm working and I'm working while recording, so I'd like to, maybe there must be some sounds from personal computers. Keyboard typing sound may come into this recording. So this is a presumable condition of this episode. And this time I'd like to talk about being busty or having huge tights doesn't lead you to success. You need some specialties for leading yourself to success. And this, nowadays or recently, there are many busty women, or there are many curvy women showing their own curvy bodies on, for example, Instagram and other websites listing up or showing some pictures of themselves. If you visit or if you use Instagram, and if you search some pictures of capturing the figures of busty or curvy women. Busty and curvy women are people having huge breasts and huge buttocks, and those people have many followers. But having such huge breasts or huge tights doesn't lead you to success. Of course, such beauty or such physical beauty is necessary for you to succeed. But what I'd like to tell you is you need some specialties. For example, if you are busty nurse, so this is a hypothetical situation. In this case, you have some medical skill or medical knowledge, which is why, for example, if you launch a blog, or if you create an account of YouTube, for example, you can broadcast things or knowledge about medical skills or medical related stuff, which is why in this case you can create some viewers who are interested in such medical field. And in this case, your physical beauty, which means if you have huge breasts, your breasts or your physical beauty works because you can gather so many viewers by your own beautiful appearance or beautiful, beautiful beautiful looks. So if you show your own, beautiful parts of your bodies, you can collect or you can gather some viewers or listeners and any other types of viewers are fine for any other guests are fine for you to gather by using your own physical beauty or by using your own huge tights and that's not enough. That's not enough. Physical beauty is not enough. What you need is to keep some viewers keep the viewers to, by your keep your viewers by using your own knowledge. For example, if you're busty nurse, you can use your own medical knowledge or medical skills. So if you could succeed in gathering viewers, you have to keep the amount of the viewers for a long time. So to keep the amount to keep the huge amount of viewers, you need some other skill different from being beautiful. So some other singles, some another stuff is, for example, medical stuff. And if you're a programmer, I used an example of bustiness, but if you're for example, if you're a beautiful programmer or if you're a beautiful coder who can write great codes or who are good at who are specialized in coding, if you're such woman, I mean, so of course this is the same as the example of bustiness. You can collect or you can gather a lot of viewers by using your own, for example, breast or by showing the cleavage of your breast. So at first you need to collect those viewers, and second, you need an idea. You need another skill for keeping. If you have many skills, you can use those skills, but at least you need another skill for keeping the amount of the listeners. So or in this case, you need to keep the amount of, for example, viewers or clients. Any type of guests are fine. So at first, as I said, you have gathered, those viewers by using your own breasts or some other physical part which are really attractive to men, for example. And after which you need to keep engaging those viewers, and to keep engaging those viewers, you need, for example, in this case, in the case of being a programmer, you need to introduce, for example, some coding skills or some knowledge about programming or stuff like that. You can also introduce some work related stuff, as long as you don't infringe the confidential information or confidential rules of your organization you belong to. So like which, multiplication is necessary, which means, if you're beautiful enough to be ranked into, for example, top 10% of beautiful women, and you need some high skill of, for example, programming, or high skill of, nursing or, medical skill. If you are, for example, nurse or physician or, medical doctor. And if you need another type of skill, which is enough to be, for example, to be ranked into top 10% of that field. For example, in the case of, if you are a great programmer, and if you are ranked into top 10% of programmers, and you are top 10% of beauty women, and by multiplying, you can become only 1% of such people, which means, you can reduce other competitors by multiplying your own skills, which means, I think there may be some busty programmers, but other programmers aren't busty maybe. So which is why, if you have some huge breasts or if you have beautiful appearances, that is an advantage for you, exceeding other programmers, like which you need to use some skills other than using only one skill. In this case, only one skill is, for example, physical beauty or coding skill or medical skill, stuff like that. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight by using only one skill. You can use many skills to fight in the field of, for example, social networking service or other types of business. For example, blogs, launching blogs, or running blogs and writing blogs, and YouTube streaming service. And this is applicable to well, this is a case to Pornhub streaming. This is also useful in creating porn videos. And this is all the stuff I'd like to tell you. And you can, of course, you can show your own cleavages of your breast on, for example, on Instagram. But you should own, or you should acquire some other skills different from such beauty related stuff. That's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.